Alright, we're here at Warwick Homestead going to attempt a flight. Unfortunately, my vertibird spawned weird. To the aircraft carrier I've been working on. And everyone gets a nice little above view of the battleship CMS Judgment. I'm hoping this does not crash, but it is Fallout and we got a ways to go. So this is a 3-turret, 5-gun battleship. Numerous AA mounts, and those box launchers you see are surface-to-air missiles. They come in different flavors depending on the color in the box. Over here, we have Spectacle Island Air Base, which is something that I have yet to really show off, which would have been where the vertibird was supposed to spawn, but it didn't. You can see a bit of the runway, the main hangar there, that holds a very spicy surprise. I don't want to bring up the map because it will pause this and make it take longer. But I believe we are also going to pass over another one of my outposts that I built in Conquest, which is an underwater, look right here, recovery mission. Didn't really plan on putting settlers here. It's kind of just a set piece to help explain how we have a working stingray. Kind of putting more in there. And this is just a custom location that I built using Conquest, as well as my aircraft carrier. Now this is where I built it in Creation Kit. And I'm at about 8 hours of work so far. This is the first time I've attempted the vertibird landing. Let's see how it does. This is just a very early preview of this project. I'll throw it up on Facebook. Maybe throw it up on Discord too, depending on how big the file is. Over here, we got a bomber. Now this is normally bigger. I scaled it down for carrying use. Plus the full size is kind of just too big to really use for anything. P-80s, these are from Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. They're the model of aircraft on the deck of Rivet City. Normally they'd have a bend there. In real life they never had that. So these are just an imported model of the fixed wing. One of the old armored vertibirds. Over here you can see this is the flight control deck, and different weapons controls and things like that is what it's going to end up being. This is still a work in progress. There's a lot of things that I just haven't filled out yet. It's at about 50%. Oh good, Somerville's turrets managed to do their job. Actually, you know what? As you can see, I am at roughly 50% done, and this is every single thing here was custom placed. As I was saying about the creation kit as we were flying in, the barge you see tilted on its side was normally here, and that is to mark like a little settlement that was never inhabited, I guess you could say. directly below here. This is just the cable I didn't delete. I did that to make it easy to figure out where I wanted this positioned relative to Libertalia, as well as there's a boat down on the first floor that is actually intentionally there as a marker for me to go back and try to nav mesh this entire thing using the general dimensions. So over here, you have the ramp coming down after an aircraft lands. They get towed down this way normally. I haven't put the tractor over there yet. This is one level for the flight control. Coming over here, this is the loading bay. Just a cool little piece. It's the garage door from the mechanist layer, I believe. We got our crane here in the controls. As you can see, the runway has all the flashing lights warning where you can land, where there's a hazard, so on and so forth. Have not done any work in here so far, but this is going to be the bridge where the ship is controlled from, for the simple fact that it's the only place you can actually see. Going back here, here's another tractor. This is where the main storage and just general maintenance bay is for the aircraft. And it's got a view down below. We'll get down there. As you can see, it stores quite a few. And I was toying around with what they can potentially drop. Potentially. Let's go. Yeah, this is the underside of the helipad, which I did an entire helipad in red here, just for contrast purposes. It's the painted concrete, which I believe is from a mod. Might not be, might be base game, but I don't think it is. Use the spiral staircase. Here's the boat I was talking about. That is a creation kit mod. Or not mod, a marker point. And this is just the rough center of the build area. In my lore, we have raided different military bases and things over time. I've played this game since launch, so you're talking, I think, 10 years at this point. I'd actually have to look it up, I don't remember offhand. So we found, for example, some test Russian BTR amphibious vehicles. These are in here just to go ashore, as well as the Toyota Sea Raider, because no homegrown insurgency is complete without a Toyota. The depth charges on the back are a chemical / biological cocktail meant to deter sea life, sharks, whales, things like that. Remember earlier I mentioned the box launchers? Well, this has 2 surface-to-air missiles mounted right on the nose. Because if it's coming right at you, you're fucked. And then back here, we got the heavy machine gun turret. So even if it's driving away from you, you are still fucked. Armor plating all around. Some bonus weapons in here. And 1 extra launcher for the crew members. Typically this is going to be crewed by 4 people. You're going to have your driver and your gunner, as well as 1 ammo loader. You know, gotta take 2 boxes at a time for that thing. And the last person is literally here, because if they can get close enough to pop it with a missile, why not? Landing, right here for the amphibious vehicles. It's also convenient if you go in here. This is just kind of a box built under the ship. Now I imagine right there that is going to be like a hydraulic flap, I guess, where it's going to come down to allow the boats out. The BTRs would just crawl over it if they had to. But this stays flooded so that we can actually moor up the ship here. Coming back here, we have 4 propellers. I thought about doing 2 large ones, didn't really look right for the size of the ship. This is the personal jetpack mod that I'm using to get these views. As I said, these are just the generator windmills, or I don't know if I said that yet, but yeah, there you go. Generator windmills, and they're just kind of rusted up in place underneath the hull. Everything's been rotated in place with place everywhere, place anywhere, whatever the hell it is. Here's the loading bay and the different pieces used to make that. A lot of this ship, here's a marker, boat, is formed around a barge from, I believe it is CVC, that has a snapping barge base that you can build a really large continuous structure with. For lore reasons, the ship is positioned here simply because Libertalia is there. It's their time to catch the smoke, and these guys are coming to do it. I have not done much down here. You can see this is how a lot of it looks when I start, if you're familiar with my other ship builds and how detailed they are on the inside. These are the things that I normally hide. Here's the loading bay from below, and this is also how we can recover or even just load more vehicles if we have to. There's going to be a hallway after this boat is gone running straight down, so you can literally pick up an entire assault vehicle and load it here if needed. Going back to the flight control. We have this game's slowest elevator, unfortunately. But we are just going to go up to the 2nd floor for now. So this is the underside of the flight. Right here is actually level with the carrier deck. We could have taken this all the way up, but I chose to come this way. I always put manual stairs in as redundancy because if the power goes out, you don't want people stuck in the tower. This is the start of what is going to be the main flight control. Different equipment. There's going to be the desks here, data banks. And we got a pretty good view all around. Even though it's obscured in that one little corner there, you can see everything around you. You got a really high angle. It's just a good spot to be in if you're actually trying to spot for aircraft. And you got a pretty good view here. There's no overhang here because I didn't want to obstruct it for the aircraft. It's a very narrow runway as is. The entire ship using the P-80 model for scale, and it's approximately 39 feet long if I remember correctly. This came out to 350 something when I wind them wingtip to wingtip all the way down the deck, because it actually runs a little bit out of the build boundary over there. Again, place anywhere mods. Right, I forgot I actually installed the ladder for a second there. So another mod that is really good for builders out there. Ladders and things come from Zabrina's workshop devices. This mod is excellent. It's also where the elevators come from, if you're looking for them. And a quick shout out to the Oppressor military mod, because it has some very amazing things in here. Like, for example, the what is this? No, this is the HIMARS. That mod takes a minute for me to load. But let's climb up here. Oh yeah, this is not going to discard. Holy shit, I didn't think it was going to run for 16 minutes. I'll try to end this within 20. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a load screen. There we go. And coming up here, we have some of the radar and radio equipment for the ship. Very nice overview of the decks here. You can see pretty much everything. And we have spotlights to help illuminate the landing area as well as the ramp. Coming over this way. Right now, this is just an ammo storage. Gonna put some missile launchers up here. Maybe some radio type stuff in there. Haven't really decided. Not gonna take the ladder again. So I'm more interested in just showing this off. I have started working on AA gun mounts. Full-on turrets using the extractor chair and the PTRS anti-tank mod. Unfortunately, I put that too close when I was building this. I can't sit. But you can see the basics. Jump over here. It's got the spotlights there, which I imagine are on a switch for the operator here. And as you can see, the magazines, they're fairly small, but I want to say they're the 10 rounders in here. So you're talking 20 rounds of 40 millimeter. Most things in the Fallout universe aren't going to fly any faster than a vertibird, and I'll shoot those down with a hunting rifle. At this point, we don't even need the fighters to shoot down vertibirds. It's just going to be one grunt up here having a good old time. But hey, what's a little overkill? There's probably going to be one or two more of those built around here. Haven't decided where exactly. But I think this is definitely one of the coolest features that I've built in a while. Excluding, obviously, the entire giant aircraft carrier. Instead of using a jetpack, I just toggle the camera. Ooh, we have a ghoul whale making a rare appearance. ADHD makes reporting a lot of fun. You can see where I'm experimenting with different rifle configurations. Unfortunately, anything below the waterline just floods, or I would absolutely build like an entire ship bottom and fill it with compartments. Game engine limitations, man. They're a killer. This is over here because there's actually a shark spawn point, somewhere like right in this general area, and they'll come over here and attack that generator in particular. Again, there's the Toyota back there. Snow and Boston Airport sign. And that is it. That is the aircraft carrier that, as of right now, is not named. If you have any suggestions, right now I have the Leviathan, the Rad Badger, and the Judgment as the only other named ships in the fleet. So thank you for listening to me ramble for 21 minutes while I previewed this aircraft carrier that amazingly is still not complete, despite being probably too large for any Xbox to handle, and PlayStation just couldn't get mods. So sorry guys, can't send it to you either.